So, a quick note on how to make sure that you spend an equal amount of time in the different parts here of the fret, because you want to follow the radius as we talked about. You want to follow this curve so you get a nice curvy scallop. And the way to do that is to practice on top 3 or 4 frets here, because when we do those, we start by making a groove in the middle. When you come to the other frets down here, you start by going back and forth in between the frets. And so up here you can really see your groove. You can really measure, am I spending an equal amount of time in every place here? If I'm spending too much time in the middle, I'll get what you see here. I don't know if it's clear to you, but I can see it's a bit wider in the middle than it is out here. So what we have now is kind of this shape, where I'm spending more time in the middle than I am on the edges. But the opposite could be true as well. You can overcompensate for the radius by spending too much time on the edges and not enough time in the middle, and that would give you this shape, this kind of uneven groove. And what you are aiming at is to get this straight groove with almost exactly the same width all the way. And so now I'm going to spend a little more time, because you go back and forth like this. I'm going to just focus on staying just a bit longer with the angle. So I'm staying a bit longer with the angle. I'm just exaggerating a bit here. So I'm going to stay more out there and do less straight up like that, to see if I can even it out. And this teaches me, so now I have an almost even groove here. This teaches me in the beginning how to really do this to get that even, because when I get down here I don't have a groove. The groove is too wide, and but it's really neat that I get to work on these small frets first. They are easy. The first one fits the file almost exactly, and so I get to increase the level of difficulty, and I get to practice following the radius of the fretboard like this before I go to the lower frets. So that was really all about how to make sure that you have spent equal time on the frets here. What I want to say now is that, I don't know if you can see it, but I just use a pen or a pencil here to point. I don't know if you can see it, but the file can't go straight up against the frets here. It's not possible, because it has like a radius also. It's round, so even though I put it straight up against the fret, it's not going to take away the wood just right there. So you will have like a line. This doesn't work. You will have like a line just up against the fret, but don't worry about that, because when you begin to sand and use the hard sandpaper, or the first kind that you're going to use, you can easily remove these little don't know what to call them, but these little edges here that you get up against the fret, so that you end up having a scallop that goes right up against the fret and then all the way over here, and so there's no fretboard left really, other than what you have revealed. So that's it for this video. Very short little thing. Let's move on to the next one.